Hi everyone. Today we are going to be walking through the installation process for the Rawrr Mantis X front moto brake. This is a significant upgrade from the stock brakes, and these are custom mounts that I've fabricated as part of the build process that you will be getting when you purchase these upgraded brakes. So what we've got here is the caliper. This is the caliper that you'll be getting. It has obviously the bigger brake pads, bigger 4-piston cylinder, and these are essentially the custom brackets that you'll be receiving as part of the kit for the front brake. So what we've got essentially are two posts that allow for the caliper to be joined and installed onto the existing stock caliper mounts. So the idea is that you're not having to replace any component of your fork. You're able to reuse your existing mounts. One thing I'll note right now is that there is a slight modification right here, if you can see this, where we've grinded that down just a little bit just to establish a little bit of clearance, and you will see that later once we get to that point. But essentially the installation process is as follows. You're going to be putting the actual brackets onto the mount. As a start, you're not tightening anything down yet. You're just getting things on here in a loose fashion, just simply to get it positioned before we tighten anything down. All right, so I'm going to hand tighten these brackets, and the key thing to the alignment of this, if you can look on this side, these brackets are able to be pivoted when they're not tightened yet. So what I'm simply doing right here is using just the axle as a tool to sort of visualize the alignment of these brackets. You basically want these to be lined up with each other as straight as possible. There is a margin of error here, so it's not needing to be perfect, and obviously you could use a ruler as well, but the idea is to just get it to a point where these two brackets, when you put a straight edge to it like I'm doing with this Allen wrench, they're basically aligned, right? So I'm going to go ahead and tighten these down. This is obviously for the video. This isn't the final install. This is simply a demonstration of how to get this thing installed. So once you've tightened this down, you've got a nice snug set of posts for the caliper. And these basically, the caliper slides right into these two posts. So this is where you might have to make some adjustments. If you didn't quite get it perfectly straight, it may not slip right in. And you have to kind of wiggle it in, and there you go. You'll see that there's movement. It has a little bit of movement there. Obviously, this is what moves when you apply pressure on your brakes. You've got the piston in there pushing against what will be the rotor inside there. And obviously, I'm doing this for the video. I've got this, which is already installed onto this bike, but I'm just showing how, if this was a fresh install, this is where you would get it. This obviously doesn't have the hydraulic line yet, and that's going to be the final step once everything's mounted on. So once you've got that slipped in there, you're all set. Now we go ahead and put your wheel back on, and really this is pretty basic. You're simply putting the wheels on, making sure that you get your rotor in between your brake pads, and you're simply just aligning things up with your rotor in there. Once you got it slipped through, you check, make sure the rotor is in between the two pads properly, and then slip these in. There we go. And there you have it. So that's it. That's the installation right there. It's on there. You're going to route your hydraulic line similar to how you see here, as if this were installed right there. You're going to route your hydraulic line this through the top or the back end around your fork on the inside. You can tie strap it onto your protection plate here, and then route it up to your brake lever. And this has the 90-degree banjo bolt, as you can see the way we've set that up. And you've got your brake lever that is all set up there to run. So there we'll ultimately put up another video for the bleeding process, but there are plenty of videos out there that I'm sure will do a much better job on the bleeding process. But it is a straightforward moto brake bleed where you're using the reservoir